All right, y'all, what's going on? I am back. I am back with the jump off. Mr. 68 is back at it with a new video review of Friends and Family Hustle with T.I. and Tiny. That's season 3, episode 12. Go on ahead and get in here, grab your snack, grab your wine glass, grab everything, child, because we about to sit here and get on into this review. And without further ado, let that beautiful bean footage roll. Y'all, so let's get into it. So first, the scene start off this episode. We know in the last episode we was basically seeing Toya's engagement come around to fruition, as we saw in the last video that I did a review of the Friends and Family Hustle. And this episode, we pretty much see Toya, being proposed to by Red. And y'all, it just was so sweet. Honey, I can't wait for the wedding. I can't wait for this quarantine shit to be over with, because I'm so ready for the wedding. I'm just so ready. I love them as a couple. So to start off the episode of this episode tonight, well, last night, because it's a new day now, we basically had Red visits Regine at our house to, basically catch up on her life, to see what she has going on, just to see how she's doing. And while he's there, he basically, wants Regine's blessing in regards to, marrying her mom. And, of course, Regine is just like taken aback. Yeah, honey, y'all know she's dramatic, honey. She starts to sit here and cry, honey. Her makeup is starting to be all smeared and all of that shit. It was just gorgeous. That was that was one of the most heartfelt moments, I would say, on reality television, just for me, because the fact that he respected, he respected Toya's daughter enough. He respected Toya enough, but he also respected Toya's daughter enough to ask for, as far as her mom's hand in marriage. It just meant the world, because you don't really see men do that these days, as far as when it comes to going around asking the family members, for their blessings. So to see, that whole thing take place, and she basically, was just sharing how, they've been through a lot, especially with the loss of her uncles, Rudy and Walter, who, Toya's brothers, as we know, was lost to gun violence that occurred, and their family has just been through so much, y'all. And then on top of that, Toya's mother, Nita, or Anita, I believe it is, she's also been through a lot. Toya has been through a lot with her own mom. So just to see all of this come to full circle, and Regine was just going on about, how she felt like that Red was just like the glue that was needed to bring this family back together. Y'all, I just loved it. I thought it was good. Also, I wanted y'all to see and take note, honey. When I tell you Regine's house is sickening, now, is some of y'all who may not follow her on IG, Regine, finally bought a, new house, bought her own pad. As we all know, Red and Toya done bought a house together. So, they've parted ways as far as, going into mother and daughter doing their own thing. And I'm just so happy to see Regine kind of come into her own grown woman status, seeing her do her own thing. Yes, come on for the pad. Honey, when I tell you it was laid out, just glamour everywhere, honey, everything was in place. It looked like didn't nobody live in it. And Red even made a statement saying it looked like that nobody lived in the house, but she said that she's mainly upstairs in the house, not downstairs. But just y'all take note of how gorgeous her house is, honey. It just must be nice to sit here and live like royalty. Yes, come on for Black excellence one time. So we had that scene, and then we had the next scene to take place with, we had T.I. and Nikki. So for those of you who may not know who Nikki is a brand crisis strategist for T.I., which I'm quite sure there's a lot of PR and brand crisis strategists going on when it comes to protecting his brand, because T.I. says a lot of shit and he does a lot of shit that ends up getting his ass in trouble. So I'm quite sure Nikki is always having to sit here and do stuff to get him out of hot water. Nonetheless, there's a scene between them to where they're basically, talking about as far as human trafficking as pertains to young women. and, you know, just basically how there's so much trafficking going on in just our city alone of Atlanta. And, you know, just basically, you know, trying to start a campaign. Now, I do remember that he mentioned that Tiana Taylor and him did a video that kind of was like a campaign that kind of, you know, was spearheading the whole lead, and him trying to take the lead on, you know, using his platform for the greater good into, you know, making the whole human trafficking thing be more out there as far as be known to the public. And I actually thought the video between him and Tiana Taylor was nice, y'all. I'm gonna have to sit here and find the name of it and post it here so y'all can go and check it out after y'all watch this video. Check it out. It was really actually a good video. It was like a short movie, but I actually was living for it. I thought it was great. So basically they had that whole situation. Then comes Tiny, you know, that walks in to the scene, and Tiny, you know, basically said that she would probably be more of a better fit. Well, Nikki, I think, suggested that she would be more of a better fit to kind of spearhead this whole production with, you know, doing a human trafficking video. Just basically, you know, as far as giving statistics with how many women are, you know, trafficked, you know, as far as sexually exploited, you know, how many women are being, you know, as far as involved in human trafficking, and just, you know, basically taking over that project. So T.I. agrees to let Tiny take over that project, and then we see the next scene, which we see Monica in her temporary house. Honey, when I tell you, if that's what a temporary house looks like, I would hate to see what a damn regular house looks like, because the temporary house, honey, was just giving me all mansion dynasty teas, honey. It just was everything. I was loving the whole cottage look. It was just great. So we had that scene to where Toya and Latoya basically came over to Monica's house. They opened up a bottle of Moscato. And basically, you know, they was, you know, going on talking about as far as the whole proposal thing, being that Toya doesn't know as far as this point that, you know, she's going to be proposed to very soon. You know, there's this whole thing of, you know, can you know, the people around her keep a secret? So Monica, you know, looks over at Latoya, because Latoya done messed around and almost let it slip, I guess, or mentioned something to this extent of it, because she thought that, you know, when Toya was talking, that she was about to say the word propose, but it ended up turning out to be another word. And so there was that whole thing. And, you know, like I said, y'all know black folks can't hold water to save their lives. So I'm surprised that nobody didn't let it slip out sooner or later anyways. But that was that, and that was a cute little scene. Then next we have that, you know, the whole Red coming out to pick out rings. Looks like he brought, I believe, the bridesmaid, the maid of honor, I think it was, to help him pick out rings, as well as the best man, I want to say, that came with him. And let me tell you, honey, when I tell you that rock that he picked out, that he ended up putting on Toya's finger, honey, if ladies, look, let me tell you, and I'm sorry now, ladies, man, take a note. If you trying to sit here as far as get a woman for a lifetime, get her, take some notes from Red. Red could teach y'all fellas a couple of things, you know, and some of y'all men who are in as far as gay relationships, how to keep a man. Because when I tell you, he got a ring that was very nice. It wasn't too over the top to where, you know, she couldn't wear it 24/7, but it was just, you know, I think it suited Toya's style. I would say that it wasn't for me. I would have preferred something, you know, without a big old rock, as far as, you know, just for myself. But being that she's a woman, it fitted her, and I think it just was a, you know, cute ring. Then we have going over to, excuse me, the next scene to where there's a Harris family dinner that takes place. We see Deja is back here, and she seems to be on better terms with T.I. Now let me tell y'all, in the previous episode, I didn't really have too much hopes with him. However, I was happy to hear, as we heard Tiny say in the confessional, that they have, you know, kind of squashed the beef for now and talked things out and tried to be on one accord with one another. So we kind of see that play out as well between the two at this family dinner. And, you know, I just thought that, you know, I was glad to see that T.I. has learned to keep some things private between him and Deja, because as you all know, Deja is not the child in the Harris family to kind of be out there. Her and Major are kind of similar when it comes to, they're just kind of low key. King is more of that as far as celebrity kid status type. Deja and Major not so much when it comes to, you know, as far as the level of flashiness. And Zonique, I would say that she kind of falls somewhere in between that scale of, you know, being a celebrity kid mindset and being the non-celebrity kid mindset. So that was that whole thing, and that was that. Next thing we saw was that also before I actually go to the next scene, I wanted to see him make a note of, you know, T.I. Basically mentioned, well, Zonique actually, I think, mentioned something to the extent of, you know, is there ever a time to where the next year rolls around and you all just don't get each other, you know, anything for one another's birthday, as far as referring to her dad and Tiny. And, you know, Tiny was quick to sit here and say, hell no. Which, look, I can't sit here and blame you. I would want my gift too. If I got to put up with the shit that Tiny got to sit and put up with, you better sit and give me damn rocks, diamonds, cars, Cadillacs, Escalades, Suburbans, Tahoes, and everything else in between. Yes, you gonna sit here and give me everything and some. I gotta sit and put it with your shit. Okay, you gonna sit here and pay me for my stress, honey. Pay me for my stress, cause I ain't know you ain't fixing just be sitting here and just I'm gonna sit here and just sell it for free, and I'm just gonna sit down on it and I ain't gonna sit here and sell it. No, you gonna pay me for my stress, okay? I just wanna sit here and throw that in there, cause y'all know T.I. don't be sitting here doing right. You know, he got his own mindset. He works out the Book of Testament when it comes to the Book of Testament, as it involves T.I. Thelonious, Coronius, Christolonius. So there's that. Next, we got Monica's Listening Party album. So look, y'all, I thought Monica's album Listening Party was cute. A lot of the songs she refers to her alter ego as bands, honey, because she's flexible and she can be in everywhere. Yes, come on, Monica, you better be flexible and can be in everywhere. So I guess she kind of, you know, was, you know, indicating that she kind of brought out some of her alter ego in some of these albums for the chapter 38. She also mentioned how she pushed it back to December, which was last December, because of, you know, just timing with things, and that, you know, it worked out in her better as it, you know, involved with being able to work with certain people. So that was that whole thing. I honestly thought I thought one of the songs, I can't think of the name of it, but I thought it was good. You know, I thought it was, you know, okay, you know, it was giving me, you know, the vibe that it was giving me. The other songs, yeah, not so much. But then again, y'all, it's kind of hard when you are, you know, as far as an R&B artist from like back when, now you're trying to stay current and kind of keep the music kind of current and not have too much of an old school feel, because we know that people don't have an appreciation for old school music nowadays. So now you got to kind of find that pop kind of sound. I ain't really with all of that, but hey, I mean, if she's making new music, people want to buy it, more props to her. Next, we got Date Night with Pretty Man. I think he calls himself Pretty Ken, excuse me. We got Date Night with T.I., Tiny, Pretty Ken, and Pretty Ken's wife, who I think name was Joy. And, you know, basically they just was talking about, you know, as far as the struggles in a relationship. I think there was a mention of, you know, Pretty Ken mentioned that he waited and understood himself before he chose to get married, which I do agree. You should definitely know yourself before you choose to sit here and get married. That wasn't the part that sit here really caught my attention, though. What caught my attention is that if y'all notice, honey, y'all catch that at the end when T.I. was and Tiny was up there talking, and they said that if you gotta change somebody, that person, then that means that ain't the person. That person either don't have you or they ain't the person for you if you got to change for a person. But as we all know, that comment was kind of, I would say, directed at T.I. because as we know, Tiny, you know, it seems like every time I turn around and, you know, Tiny is my girl, but, you know, I always feel like that she kind of downplays her light in some sort for her husband, as far as so that his light can shine brighter. And I always feel like that she's never been as far as her true authentic self, or maybe she has been, maybe that's just her, you know, if that's what her self-esteem level is at. Not saying that it's a bad self-esteem level, but some women, they just like being submissive to their husbands, and that's perfectly fine if that's the case. However, I always have felt like that, you know, when it comes to T.I., Tiny definitely, you know, allows a lot of shit to slide, and she definitely puts up with a lot of shit, and she definitely, you know, make sure she does all that she can as a wife to sit here and please T.I., which is the reason why I kind of have a love-hate thing for T.I., because I feel like that he should sit here and treat Tiny better than what he does. But who am I to sit here and talk? It is what it is. If that's their relationship and it works for them, oh well. Next, we sit here and we got a video shoot that was done by LaToya, Christmas, from one of her songs from the Christmas album. And we see cute Tommy's daughter, which is Latoya's stepchild, Madison, aka Maddie. And we, see as far as the bond and the dynamics between all of them, which was cute. This was around Christmas time, as you all know. So, everybody was trying to get into the Christmas spirit and all of that. And then next after that, we had the trafficking video. Okay, so what y'all thought about it? I thought the trafficking video was very, on point. I thought it was very impactful. I was happy to see that all of the females participated. I was happy to see that female support empowerment. It definitely gave me everything that I needed. And it was also the one of the ladies who apparently her name was, I want to say it was, I hope I don't mess it up, but it was Toya Brown, which she was 16 years old when she killed the man that basically, was trying to, as far as get her involved in the human trafficking industry, I guess it was. And she basically, as far as shot the man or killed the man in self-defense or whatnot. And so she was also a part of the video. And I think T.I. also did an interview with her early on prior to this video. So it just was great to see. And I also am going to put a number, because if you or anybody out there knows anybody who is being sexually exploited, be sure to call this number and text the word "be free," and you're gonna text it to this number I'm gonna put up here, because I ain't with that shit. I've come from as far as dealing with molestation, I've been molested by family members, friends, you name it, everybody as a child. And just coming from somebody that's been violated and had their rights violated, I do stand strongly behind when it comes to sexual exploitation as it pertains to children. No matter children, grown, look, it don't even matter. It is what it is. It's wrong. The shit is wrong. And I just feel like people need to see and have as far as judgment day for it. And that's all I'm going to say on that. The next thing we see that Toya basically is going out on a date with Red, or so she thinks. And they're basically just driving when all of a sudden here come damn Mama Nita ass and damn sent Toya a picture by mistake of Walter and Beatty. And she's wondering what the hell is going on. Red over here sweating like bullets because he don't want his surprise fucked up and all that shit. So nonetheless, she don't seem to suspect anything. Red is relieved. They end up getting to the airport where they hop on the helicopter. They're flying on the helicopter. And, all of a sudden she sees on the actual pad where they're going to land at, "Will you marry me?" on that helicopter pad. And Toya's just like, girl, she just started crying. Y'all know she a bucket of water. She just started seeing him crying and just hugging Red and kissing on him. And y'all, I think she already knew that she was getting proposed to, because look, it was so many signs leading up. I mean, girl, even the damn 5 blind boys could see the shit. We know the shit was gonna happen. So I don't think it was really too much of a surprise, but for camera entertainment, they had to see him play it out. So good for them. It looks like they got married, they got engaged not too far on top of a rooftop across from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, because I recognize the Mercedes-Benz Stadium downtown Atlanta. And then next we see her walk in on her surprise engagement. So I guess the rooftop was the building that they had the surprise engagement in. We see people, as far as she walks down the steps, Reginae runs down and says surprise. We see, her personal stylist. Shout out to No IG Jeremy, who now has an Instagram. He was there. I think I saw him. I saw a couple of other celebrities, there. And, it just was good vibes. Of course, all of the girls that, as far as the cast of Family Hustle, they were there. So it just was, good to see that. And then at the end, we see Latoya, because she's been, as far as discussing in the show of, wanting to grow her family, announced that she is pregnant, which we come to find out to be a boy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw early on back this year where she did have a boy when they had the whole gender reveal. And, of course, tummy ass, old short ass, midget ass was excited, jumping up and down all around and everything, because he was, having a boy and all of that. So it's just love in the air. Congrats all the way around. And like I said, I'm just so happy, y'all. The only reason why I'm reviewing this show, I know I haven't caught up on all episodes as far as seeing every episode, as far as doing a review on it, but I'm adding it to my roster because I just thought that this is such a show that shows Black excellence, regular Black families just having normal issues, and I just think it's just a good look for us, and it's a win for us, and that's what we need in times like this. So that is my review. If you like it, be sure to like, share, subscribe this video. Until next time, my fun sizers, stay tuned. I will be bringing more content to you. Peace. Mwah.